So welcome back to the channel. My name is David. I'm the founder and owner of WEAREGROWTHHACK Consulting. It's an Amazon agency registered as official service provider in the Amazon Service Provider Network. And the next question you might want to ask is, why would I listen to an agency owner when trying to figure out if I want to hire an Amazon agency or not? Well, I've been in the business for a long time. I started my agency in 2017 and I started doing Amazon with some of the biggest sellers in the world based in China in 2014. And I've been following clients from Europe, from the US, from every part of Asia, every part of the world pretty much. So I can tell you a few things, and I have just a little bit of experience since 2014 selling on Amazon. I can tell you the questions that my clients have before signing the contract, the kind of mindset that you should approach this kind of negotiation with, the details that you might want to look at, what kind of agency or partner, let's say, in the long term you want to hire, and what are the little mistakes that you could avoid when selecting the right agency, the right partner for you, because you want to have this as a beneficial cooperation for both parties, or you might just not need it. You could just hire a VA somewhere. So let's get right into this. Why and how you need to hire an Amazon agency to scale your business. So first of all, when do you know that you actually need an Amazon agency or help with your daily operation? It might be the case that you are actually working within a larger organization, a larger company, and you want to start approaching Amazon as a business. Amazon in this case might be just a new channel for you to sell your products. Or you might be a seller that is already selling on Amazon, but you are realizing that you don't have the time to do everything that it takes because you have inventory management, product research, keywords, PPC advertising that can get really tough. And you have translations potentially if you want to sell in other marketplaces. You have to find claims and auditing, and you have to monitor your account performance and go through all the different kind of promotions. You are in a situation where you recognize that whether might it be for lack of expertise or lack of time, you need help with managing your business. And it can be really tough, as we're always saying in this channel, but it will pay back. Because Amazon today is the biggest marketplace in the Western world, and the number of potential customers that Amazon puts in front of you is just amazing. So it's relatively easy. I'm not saying that everyone can do that, especially without a strategy, but you can do that. If you're trying to start a side business that you later want to develop as a full-time business with a very, very big income, Amazon is one of the best ways today to actually make money. I have known a lot of people starting from zero and making good money on Amazon, making it into a 6 or 7 or then even 8-figure sellers. And I know some of those, they actually have developed everything just by themselves, by hiring VAs and selecting the right partner, the right agency at the right time for the right service. We're getting lucky here because today the market of selling on Amazon is much more mature than it used to be in 2017 when I launched my agency, or in 2014 when I actually started working for Amazon sellers as a marketing manager and PPC manager. I was also taking care of external traffic and social media, etc. You know, you could have one person doing all of this, but now things have changed because you definitely need to be more focused. So what is happening right now is that we have less of the traditional full service Amazon FBA agencies, and we have more of a broken down kind of services available for sellers, where each agency and each service provider or tool is focusing on a very particular side of the business. It might be creating your listings, SEO optimization, or only helping you with PPC advertising. How many specialized Amazon agencies that only do PPC advertising there are out there? It's a lot. Choosing the one that might be the best for you, it might be really hard. Also because you shouldn't just base your decision on the money, on how much it's going to cost you. Some agencies are focused on translation. Some agencies are focused on product selection or helping you with freight forwarding and finding suppliers. When you realize where you need help, that might be from Entirely opening a new Amazon account because you have your own company, you have the entire teams, but you don't actually know how to open the account. Or it might just be translating a few listings, or just helping you with keyword research or PPC. You have to identify your need. That's the first thing. The second thing is you have to identify your partner. So what I suggest doing is, of course, search online. Try asking your friends. Maybe you have some friends who are already selling on Amazon and they have a partner, or maybe they don't have a partner, but they can give you definitely their idea. I think that finding an Amazon agency is definitely easy today. It's so easy. There are so many agencies out there, so many tools and service providers there. Just do a Google research or go into the Amazon Service Providers Network. You might find something better. Or just search online. You might be looking for listing optimization and you might have found us there, for example, as we have done a lot of in-depth listing optimization videos, tutorials, showing you actually how to optimize a listing and how to get the best out of the SEO and the keywords for ranking your products in Amazon and selling them better. The third step, I would say, is identifying the right partner. And this might be very crucial. So if you have found your partner online, make sure that they have definitely a website, that they have a sort of social media presence, that they have some reviews somewhere, or they have actually, social media today is a very good tool to actually identify the presence of any business online. Some businesses don't want to be present on social media, but I definitely think that a digital marketing agency, and in our case, an Amazon FBA agency, should definitely be on social media so you can see what people say about them and what kind of sentiment their customers, their partners, or people who have worked with them have about their business. So great, you've made it to this point. You have identified your need, you have done your proper due diligence, you have found your partner and selected your partner. You probably have been going through a couple of, introduction calls. You have sent them a bunch of emails and you have understood that you want to work with them. So I can tell you here where are the most common KPIs that you should be looking into when working with an Amazon agency. And this is a very important thing because you want to make sure that you're not going to have misunderstandings at the end. You don't want any of the two parties to be unhappy or to provide services that don't meet the expectations. So you definitely want to have a great cooperation on both sides. So what are the most common areas where an Amazon agency can help you as an Amazon seller? And based on those areas, I can tell you some of the KPIs that you should be looking into. So definitely you have listing creation or optimization or translation, inventory management, pricing, checking the health of your account, etc. Making sure that you don't go out of stock, send you notification, or make sure that your listings are active and no one is actually infiltrating your listings. An agency might also take care of your PPC advertising, sponsor products or sponsor display or video ads and everything, or even social media, external traffic, etc. And understanding where your business should go or should be, and also giving you the right reporting. So these are the tasks that normally a marketing agency, does and solves for the Amazon seller generally. So what kind of KPIs should you be looking into to actually see if the agency is doing a good job? So the first KPI, the first metric you want to look into is the number of new customers to your brand. Because if the agency is doing everything perfectly, if they're doing things better than you were able to do, the next obvious thing is you're gonna have more customers. And you're gonna see this reflected into the business reports with new customers and definitely more sales. Also, this comes to the next point, that is returning customers. How many returning customers to your business you're actually having? So more new customers, more returning customers, that translates also in new sales. So you might want to put this as a KPI, or you might want to pay close attention and make sure that they report this when they're actually sending you the business report. Any kind of report should tell you definitely where you're standing in terms of sales and customers. Another very important metric is the total advertising cost of sales, the so-called TACOS or ACOS. ACOS is the advertising cost of sales, the number that you can see on the campaign manager dashboard. It's a kind of ROI indication. For us selling on Amazon, ACOS is is the kind of nemesis. It's one of the metrics to see when you want to actually judge how good is your advertising, because the lower the ACOS, the better your performance. Now, the TACOS is the total value of the budget that you're spending on Amazon for advertising compared to your gross sales, because we know that not all the sales, of course, are coming from the advertising. Hopefully not for you, but normally you want to stay on a very healthy range of 30 to 60% of your sales coming from advertising. It really depends on where you're standing, if you're a new seller, how competitive is your niche, and so on and so forth. A lot of things. That's gonna be entirely up to your category, to your strategy, and on how aggressive you want to be. Another metric you definitely don't want to dismiss is having a higher conversion rate and click-through rate. Conversion rate is, just to say it in very simple terms, is the amount of times that someone lands on your listing page and ends up buying that product. So you want to have this rate as high as possible. You want to have a lot of your customers looking into your product, spending time on your product, and then buying your product, especially when it comes to advertising, because you are charged by Amazon for each click to your listing. So you definitely want to convert into sales those listings. The next is click-through rate. Click-through rate is actually a very good metric that shows you how well you're doing in showing to the potential customer that you're selling the right thing for them. The click-through rate is the rate of customers that see your product on the search result page and customers that actually click on your listing, so that will end up giving you this session of the listing. Having a good click-through rate means being able to catch the customer attention and having them click into your listing page, and having a good conversion rate means doing a very good job in convincing them that this is what they're looking for and the price is worth it and a lot of people like it and they should just buy it. I want to keep this video very short, and I want to close it just with some questions and the answers that we give as an agency, as a service provider, especially when dealing with the negotiation. This might be some question that you might have when looking into working with a new, potentially long-term partner that might help you increase your business, increase your profits on Amazon. And if you never thought about those questions, probably it would be really good to think about those questions or to ask those questions to your potential partner. So these questions are in the blog. Let me just read them for you. I'm not gonna go through all of them, but some of them. And I definitely encourage you guys to click the link down in the description, read the blog post, because we have shared a lot of insiders tips and information. So the first question is, how can you trust that the Amazon FBA agency will do a good work and will take care of your account growth in the best way? So this, I think, is one of the most crucial points here, because you might have the introduction call with the CEO of the agency. That is the person that puts his face on the agency. So you think that, and you probably know the CEO, you know the owner, the main person, the main image of the agency, but is it actually gonna be him doing the daily job on your account? Or you might have a talk with the sales manager, but who's gonna be the account manager? Are you sure that is a person that actually was trained by the CEO? It's definitely not gonna be the CEO in most of the cases, especially if it's a very big agency. And depending on how big is your account, you will be assigned a value, and that value will correspond to the account manager that will actually manage your account. So you definitely have to be careful. Maybe you want to ask them this thing: who's gonna take care of my account? Who's gonna manage my account? Who's gonna do the daily operation? Is this person skilled? Did you train them? How many years of experience they have? How can I make sure that they would do a good job? Can I talk with them first? This would actually be a very interesting thing to put into the negotiation. I don't think you're actually gonna meet the account manager. I don't think that's possible, but it's gonna be definitely a question that will show to your potential partner that you really care about the performance of your account. The next question is, how can you make sure that the Amazon FBA agency will not waste your advertising budget? That's also very interesting. So you might see their screenshots and their past performances for other clients. Now, keep in mind that all of this content has been selected to come in front of you and to give you a good idea of how well an Amazon agency does their job. And that's for any kind of performance-based agency or performance-based marketing. Now, you might want to check actually if the products that were advertised there belong to the same category as your products, because different products mean different kind of performance. And also, an agency might be more familiar with this kind of product or with another kind of product. It's completely fine. It's completely legit to ask what kind of products you normally you guys working with. Also, you might want to ask when those screenshots or when this performance was registered. When was the seasonality? There are many things that actually affect the performance of advertising on Amazon. And probably something that you want to make sure with your potential partner is that you both understand that you agree on the direction where you're going. One of the things that we do with our clients is actually setting some important milestones along the way of the contract. Let's say that we have a contract for 12 months or 8 months. We will set a milestone, let's say after 3 or 4 or 6 months, depending on a lot of things, because you have to get into the account and see the performance, see what's good, what's not good, see what's wrong, and what you have to fix. And you might choose to follow this path, and you might agree on reaching this milestone in terms of sales and cost on sales. And if you don't reach this milestone, both the parties will agree to end the contract or to change the details of the contract. That's also potentially a good idea for you to make sure that your partner is there helping you in the best way that they can. Another question is, why is an Amazon FBA agency or full service agency better than a freelancer or VA? It all boils down to what is your specific need right now. You might also be working with a very, very good freelancer, and that's the best way for you. But if you're coming from a very, very large company, probably only hiring 1 or 2 freelancers is not enough. You want to hire a professional agency that can provide you, good service with a very high quality and respect the deadline. I mean, for example, in the past 2 years, we have optimized 30,000 listings for our clients across 6 different marketplaces. I don't think that 1 or 2 or 3 freelancers, VAs can do that unless you deeply integrate them into your own company, but that's not really like working with a VA. That's more like creating your own agency or VA team inside. You have to respect deadlines and quality and everything, so you definitely want to make sure that you're working with the best. It all depends on the scale of your business, where you're standing right now, and what is your need. Next questions, what kind of KPIs should you consider? How can you attribute the performance to the agency? How can you make sure they're actually doing a good job? So this goes back to the point that we have discussed before, the KPIs that I gave you. That's a very good benchmark, and you can find a lot more information in the blog post that I'm linking down in the description. Oh, if the agency is asking you for access to the Seller Central, yeah, normally you can give access to the Seller Central. Make sure that you at least have a call with them first. You make sure that they are a legit business, that they have a registered address. It's even better if they are coming from Amazon Service Provider Network. And in some case, if you only have to give them access to your campaign manager, it will be Amazon to actually send you an email where you have to accept, and Amazon is asking you, hey, this agency that is registered in the Service Provider Network is asking to get access to your account. Do you want to give it? And you will say yes. That's the cleanest way for you to give access. So these are some of the questions that you might ask yourself when considering whether working with an agency or not. We have also talked on how to identify the correct agency. And the most important thing is trying to realize if you are at the point where you actually need to work with an agency, or you might just be okay with working with a VA, or you can do it yourself, or you maybe want to internalize everything. So you have to identify the right way to work as an agency with your clients, and as a client with your service provider. And just make sure that you set the expectations and the deliverables and the KPIs before you start working together. That's a very important thing. And you also know what do you need, what are the tasks and the objectives, and who's gonna report, how many times per week you're gonna have an update or a weekly call, who's gonna take care of your account. That's also a very important thing. Try to do your due diligence to see how good is this agency or this VA. If you're finding the VA on Fiverr, look at the reviews. Ask someone who's been working with them, look at their LinkedIn profile. So there are many ways that you can actually get yourself ready to minimize the potential harm of working with the wrong partner. So this was everything. Thank you so much for watching this video. In case you have questions or you want to jump into a consulting call, just let me know. If you want to give feedback, feel free to comment down in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe, to give it a like, comment, do all this good stuff to help our channel grow. We would really appreciate. This was all on my side, and thank you so much for following us, for watching our videos, and I will definitely see you next time. Cheers.